Good evening and welcome to this excellent Halloween night edition of Utah State Hockey. Utah State will be taking on the Montana University Grizzlies tonight. The Grizzlies came off a 4-0 win against, 4-0 loss against the University of Utah last night. And Utah State coming off a very, very intense victory against Montana State Bobcats. They eked out a last-second goal. With me tonight is my buddy Nick. Nick's going to be filling in on color commentary tonight. Nick, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Nick, do you want to go ahead and give us the starting lineup for the Grizzlies?
All right. In goal, number 1, Jordan Belay. On the left defense, number 24, Teague Wagner. On the right defense, number 23, Matt Klein. On the left wing, we got number 12, Ben Kramers. On the right wing, we have Eaton Gerelnick. And in the center, you have Max Toila.
Excellent. I'll go ahead and give you guys that starting lineup for the Utah State University. Starting in goal, we have number 30, Cale Samuels. Left side defense, we have number 16, Owen Ramsey. Right side defense, number 28, Jack LaFontaine. Number 14 on the left side wing, Jack Wallace. Jack Wallace came up with that last-second goal last night. He's got to be feeling pretty good. Right side wing, number 7, Teague Pilgrim. And then starting center, we have number 12, Nolan Gifford. Gifford went ahead and scored our first goal to kind of break the seal last night and get things going for us. Let's hope that this exact same starting lineup from yesterday can go ahead and replicate the same success that they got from yesterday. We'll go ahead and kick it for just a second as we go ahead and get the national anthem. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We had just had the national anthem. We're ready to get going here. We have both teams making their way up to the center circle here. Stockton is joining me here for color commentary. Nick did a fantastic job giving us the starting lineups, and we appreciate him for that. Stockton, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, I'm fantastic as always. It's always good to be in the Eccles, and I'll tell you what, just still buzzing after last night's game. A buzzer beater in hockey, it's so rare you get to see those. The boys got to be feeling great. Right in the middle of a 3-game weekend at home, right in the middle of a time of year where we're just at the Eccles every other weekend, it feels like. So I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here. This is a team that Utah State handled well on the road a couple weeks ago, and I'm feeling good about tonight.
Absolutely. They're coming off of a 4-0 loss against the Utes last night. They had some struggles getting any offense going from when I talked with their play-by-play guy. said that they had an unfortunate own goal yesterday that caused some the spiral to start for them, and then it just, unfortunately, it was shot after shot just seemed to go in against the Grizzlies. So obviously you don't want to underestimate the Utes when you play them, but it became a bit of an issue. So,
yeah, and I got to say, too, the U has become quite the wagon in this conference. Ever since they joined the MWCHL, they win the Cup in their first year in the conference and looked really good doing it. So kind of expecting a lot more of that from Utah. And when they're in the building a week from tomorrow, it's going to be a real good contest. I'm upset I can't be here for that one. You know, football duties calling and everything. But I think the MWCHL is shaping up to be a really good conference of hockey this year. We've seen some really good contests between Montana State, Utah State. Weber State's looking, I hate to say it, but really good. So I'm excited to have them back in the building in a couple weeks as well. And, at some point those guys are going to fall off their high horse. It's inevitable. It's very hard to go undefeated, especially in club hockey, through an entire season. So I'd like to be the team that does it to them and we get them back for some of the early season woes here. And that's how that series seems to go, right? It's, you know, you got a team winning a lot early on and then the other team starts to win in the back half of the season. We saw it a couple years ago. Utah State dropped a couple bad ones to Weber, what was it, the beginning of the 2024 season.
Correct.
And, you know, we got a banner up there that kind of shows you how that season ended.
Sometimes the loss really gets you guys going. You need that moment to just kind of kick yourself in gear.
And I think that's what happened for this team at the beginning of the season, too. They got walloped at Weber State 7-2 to open the season. And since then, they are 10-3. So looking really good. Got to their 10th win last night. Just a gutsy performance last night against a lot of physicality. I don't think Montana's on the same foot as Montana State is. There's a little bit of a drop-off there just because of how good the Bobcats have been. And Nikolai Wallery is one of the best goalies in the MWCHL as well. I'm excited to see Kale in net tonight. I thought Ryan Wallen played a lights-out game last night. That guy is phenomenal.
Absolutely played out of his mind.
Yeah, I think it's another one where Utah State's going to look to a strong goaltender performance and just capitalize on the shots they have in the zone. They had a lot of time in the O-zone yesterday. Put a lot of shots on Wallery, but could only get past him twice. So
absolutely. Players line up across from each other at the center circle. We're ready to drop this puck and get things underway. Utah State in the whites and the Grizzlies in the black. Utah State ends up winning that face-off and taking it around the backside of the net. Here is Pilgrim. Pilgrim tries to play it forward for Gifford, but ends up losing it. Grizzlies immediately on the attack. Here's Toila playing it forward, trying to get it around the back, trying to hold on to possession. Klein gets almost dispossessed there by the Aggies. Ramsey tracks it back, loses his stick in the process. Here's Klein again, tries to play it across the crease, loses the puck. It's being battled for here at the center. Here's Pilgrim, plays it forward for Gifford.
Early physicality from last night's hero, Jack Wallace, with a big pin on the boards.
Absolutely. He's got to be feeling that still as well. If we're feeling it, he's definitely feeling it.
Well, he got the start tonight, so, Gearloff's feeling it on the bench, too.
Absolutely.
Everyone's feeling it.
Grizzlies taking it across. We have a bit of a 1v1 situation here. Makes it past the defender. Easily handled there by Samuels as he just sticks out that leg pad. The Grizzlies maintain control. Here's LaFontaine now, picking up the loose puck. Dumped forward, and that should be an easy icing call.
They'll undo that change. Pierce going to have to go back to the bench. Pilgrim will come back out. Sanborn also back onto the bench. This is something the Aggies struggled with last night. It's something we're going to be keeping an eye on early on. It's just defensive zone possession. They struggled to pass. It's actually, I think, really why they gave up that goal in the second period to Montana State. It's just lazy passing in the D zone. They'll have to kind of clean that up, and they're just not communicating enough about positioning in that D zone.
Absolutely. Also, with the absence of some of our faster players like Luke Anderson, you can feel it, unfortunately. Here's Niebauer. Dumps it forward, and it's snagged out of the air by Cale Samuels. He'll hold on to that one.
We did get confirmation in the chat last night, by the way, that Luke Anderson had a broken finger that required surgery. Really bad loss for Utah State, and I don't think that we'll see him back until the new year, probably with surgery. That's probably an 8 to 10 week recovery. Hopefully he can accelerate that, maybe 6 to 8 weeks and come back. That would be, that last game of the semester against Utah. But
he's an absolute powerhouse for this Aggie squad, and they're definitely going to have to figure some stuff out. This is a great opportunity, though, for some of these younger players to kind of step up and fill that void. Here's Ferry. Takes his eye off the puck for a second, but Utah State manages to hold on to it. here at center ice. Grizzlies and Aggies battling for it. The Grizzlies managed to hold on to it. Here's Niebauer, plays it forward for Pankratz. Pankratz gets immediately surrounded by a couple Aggies. Jocelyn for the puck. It ends up in the path of Niebauer. Grizzlies playing out of the back. Pankratz can't get a hold of it. Ends up in the stick of Jensen. Jensen will dump that one forward off the blocker there of Belay.
And Belay actually just took that away from his own guy. Allowed Zach Pierce to get in there in the corner. Luckily, Grizz come away with it.
Grizzlies coming across center ice here, trying to play it forward for Wagner. Wagner will have a chance. Easily handled there by Samuels. That was a good defensive play, though, however, by Bogan.
Yeah, he did well to come from behind and just interfere with the stick there. He couldn't get a clean shot off, couldn't extend the stick all the way. Saw Bogue do that a couple times last night as well. Someone else on the defense that I'm looking to make a difference tonight is LaFontaine. He was stepping up a little bit. He was looking to help on the offense. He made a couple big stick blocks, off shots as well. I think that we'll see him get involved in the offense tonight. It's looking like Utah State's kind of hungry to jump up through that neutral zone and get all 5 guys involved. But we also know they like to set up plays on the blue line anyway, and I think LaFontaine is going to be a little less shy about those shots as they're a little easier to come by in a game like tonight.
Reese Bynum here picking up the puck, tries to play it forward for Freegang. Freegang can't hold on to it. This one's played back. Samuels will shepherd it there to his defenseman. Played forward, trying to get a hold of it is Pfeiffer. Oh, here we go. This is Bynum. Bynum has a chance, but he can't quite get that final product off.
Really good stick defense on the crease there.
Here's Freegang here with the shot, and it's in the back of the net.
Disgusting from DJ Freegang on that. Just moved through 2 like he was a knife cutting through butter. And I do think Belay got a piece of that, but it glanced off him and hits the back of the net. 1-0 Aggies, 2:55 into the game.
Well, one thing that I have noticed so far was the Grizzlies really were pressing hard, so they're going to feel pretty hard done conceding that early goal, but that's exactly what the Aggies wanted, was to make sure they get that first goal.
That's how they burn you, too, is they can get through the neutral zone pretty quick. The forecheck as well, keep an eye on how they hem teams into their own halves and are able to cycle in and out of the neutral zone quickly on those turnovers.
We'll have Saldana facing off with Rabbits. Grizzlies come away with that one. Here's Wagner. Plays it forward for himself. Around the backside of the net. Gets immediately hampered up against that wall. Played forward, trying to into the path of Sanborn, who can't quite get on the end of it. Apologies, that's not Sanborn. Here come the Grizzlies. Taking a shot that's off of, took a deflection there off of Bynum. Aggies advance. Walton trying to get his way through, can't quite make it through, and it's picked up by the Grizzlies. Dumped forward, Kale will come off of his line and play it forward for Ramsey. Ramsey shepherds it away from Rabbit. Moving across center ice, finds Wallace to Gifford. Back to Wallace. Takes it around backside of the net. Tries to set up Gifford in the center crease, but can't quite get on the end of it as the defenseman read that well. Pilgrim. Here's Wallace again. Aggies doing really well to keep it in their offensive zone. They'll have to track it back now. Here's LaFontaine. Playing it across, up off of the boards towards Wallace.
Missed it. That's going to be nice. Thought he was going to get a bigger bounce off the wall, just kind of skip behind him. Aggies go the other way, but they're looking really good early on in this one. And was a little bit worried about D-zone possession early in the game, but they're looking a little more organized than they were last night. Obviously still need to talk to each other a little bit more. Some of those passes are not coming off cleanly in the D-zone, and that's where you can really put Samuels in danger, but so far so good.
15:45 left here in the first period. We have Toila standing across from Gifford. Toila wins that one. Grizzlies hold on to it. Great defense by the Aggies to pick it up. Wallace almost loses it, but Ramsey holds on to it. Here's LaFontaine. LaFontaine's not afraid to take it on his own at times. Gets dispossessed at center ice.
It's really good work from behind from Max Toyala right there.
That one will take a touch, and there won't be an icing as it's waved off. Sanborn pressuring that puck. He's got Wallace's support, but he'll track back. Weiland surveys his options. He's got Gerelnik. He plays it forward. Bit too far for him. Gerelnik somehow comes up with it, though. Samuels shepherds that away and allows his defenseman to take it. Great touch there by Ferry to keep it going. Goes into the forecheck. Here's Pierce. Pierce plays it back to Bogan. Bogan takes that shot, and it comes off of the leg pads of Belay.
Really good idea. Ferry was about to try and deflect that up and over the shoulder, just couldn't get his stick all the way down. He was getting held up by two different Grizz.
Here's Ferry once again, playing it back to Bogan. To Pierce, who leaves it for Ferry. It's picked up by Pankratz. Pierce, relentless on that offense. Here's Ferry. Ferry will have a chance here. Takes the shot. It's right into the gut there of Belay, and he covers up.
He was trying to go off the side of Belay there. He scored a goal like that a couple weeks ago, actually, against Colorado, I think it was. Just trying to tuck it in and get a bounce off the ribs. And now we've got Pierce exchanging words with one of the Grizz. That's number 9, Luke Pisgey, I think is what it says on the roster.
I think it's Pizzay.
Pizzay, okay.
All the G's are actually E's.
Okay, that's fun. Yeah, Pizzay, John with Zach Pierce there, and that's Zach's game. That's what he does.
Absolutely. Grizzlies come away with that faceoff once again. They've had the most of the wins here on these possession faceoffs, but Utah State manages to get back on defense well.
Oh,
great
dangerous.
Chance. Great defense there, though, by the Aggies. A bit dangerous there in front. Here's Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer has a chance here. Leaves it for Bynan. Bynan plays it across the crease, but it comes off of Belay. But Freegang will have a chance on net. Oh, and that's a great shot, but I think it might have taken a bounce off of Belay's glove.
It did. He was trying to wait a second and get Belay to push to the opposite post and leave it behind him, but he just couldn't wait long enough.
Big hit there by Freegang as Pfeiffer comes up with the puck once again, but he loses it as he passes it through the crease.
Boy, DJ's getting active early in this one. This is touched right on the red line, so no ice.
Here's Mooney. Great touch there to take possession away. He has some open ice ahead of him. Plays it forward for Sanborn. Sorry.
That's Revo.
Thank you. Newer player still for me, unfortunately. Grizzlies will come away with it and track it forward. Aggies track back on defense. Samuels comes out, plays it off, needs to get back into his crease.
That's another thing Utah State needs to do a little better is communicate with Kale when he comes out of his crease because he's got his back to the play. He has no idea he's getting pressed right there.
Kale's also one of those, a goaltender that's not afraid to make that play like that as well, from what I've noticed.
And sometimes to the detriment of the team, sometimes he comes a little too far out of the crease. He's gotten better with that as the years have gone on. But that's just a 50-50 one that you got to leave to your D-men.
Saldana gets taken down there about center ice, and here's Plant now with the puck.
Oh, Walton's going to get a hook.
Yeah, that was an easy hook.
Got it right up into the hands. Saldana tipped it but didn't control it. Now it'll be touch dead. So first penalty for Utah State. They've got to kill. And the thing that's weird about this Utah State special teams is they look better on the kill than they do on the power play lately. They have a hard time passing in the D zone. They almost gave up a shorty yesterday to Montana State. That would have been the game winner.
Montana State they were on top of it. They seemed very well in control.
And Hayden Clem, number 11. First, I got to say this. First of all, we got a dead moment. I gained a lot of respect for Montana State last night because of Clem dragging their goaltender back onto the ice to shake hands and really showing that sportsmanship in what was a really tough, really physical game. But Hayden Clem was all over him on the kill last night, and Utah State's going to get after it on the kill. They are usually a little more active when they have Luke Anderson out there, and his absence is going to be noted, but they've got Wallace playing in his spot right now. Yeah,
great chance here for Wallace to get some really crucial minutes. A little bit of extra ice time, maybe make a name for himself.
I saw Jack in the hall after the game last night, and I was saying, hey, dude, that was a great move. He said, yeah, as soon as I got the puck, I knew where it was going. He's got all the confidence in the world right now.
You got to love that from these younger players. Grizzlies holding on to it in their offensive zone. Here's Klein. Plays it across. Back to Klein. To Niebauer. And that's a shot that it comes off of a defenseman, it seems. It took the deflection wide. Kale didn't have to worry about it. Here's Wallace. He'll take that shot. It's high. Ooh. It comes off of the glove of Belay.
He beat the glove there. He just missed the crossbar. A big reverse hit on the other end.
Great shot and catch there by Kale Samuels. Saw that one the whole way.
Well, if early evidence is to be believed here, Brian, this is going to be a physical game. Aggies have killed a minute 2 now off the initial power play for Montana. Again, it was the hook on George Walton. But they're looking good so far. Or excuse me, Dylan Walton. I call him George Walton all the time. It's because the high school in my hometown was George Walton High School. I just think of that off the head. But
that's real easy to get caught up in.
No, Walton getting caught on the hook there, but Utah State's looking good. They play that really tight box right in front of the crease on the kill. And they really try not to extend out further than that.
Wagner playing the possession game. Here's Hamlin. Hamlin's a very strong offensive pressure. I was speaking with the play-by-play man over for the Grizzlies. One of the only programs that actually sends their play-by-play guy. Got a chance to talk with him. He's a very nice fella. Unfortunately, I don't remember his name, but very nice guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they actually work for the ESPN 800 AM outlet up in Missoula, because ESPN's got those regional radio stations in those kind of lower coverage markets. So really cool that club hockey gets that kind of coverage.
D2 club hockey on top of that.
Oh,
Shot
yeah.
that comes off of the leg pads there of Cale Samuels. It might have come off of the defenseman. Instead, it might have been Bynum, or Bound, sorry.
Ooh, man.
Bynum working really hard to try and get that offensive pressure, but can't quite, and the power play for the Grizzlies is over. Back to full strength.
And that was a great kill for Utah State. Oh, and a great glove for Cale Samuels. Tried to flip that over the helmet there, but yeah, really good kill for Utah State. It didn't really look like they were a man down at any point in those 2 minutes, and had really good control of that puck, got it out of danger, and didn't really allow Cale to get harassed there.
Yeah. 10:13 left here in the first period. 1-0 if you're just joining us. Just fixing up the moorings on that goal. Here's LaFontaine trying to set up Pierce, but it's picked off there by the Grizzlies. Forced up against the glass here is Pierce. Teammates come to try and shovel that puck right out of that corner. In recent years, this is something that the ref would have called back and they would have had a face-off, but they've, elected to continue letting them fight for the puck now. Grizzlies maintain possession.
Honestly, I think it's because those old crews just couldn't see where the puck was anymore.
Niebauer dumps it forward. Jensen will track it back. Ooh, and that was intercepted easily there by the Grizzlies. That could have been a very dangerous play. Couldn't manage to hold on to it, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, real miss there. Unable to control the puck after the pick.
Jocelyn for the puck here at center ice. This is Sanborn trying to get it, along with Pierce. Here's Gerelnick. He'll take that shot, comes off the blocker of Samuels, and Ferry will pick it up. Playing it off the glass, trying to send it forward for Pfeiffer. Picked up by Hamlin. He'll take it around backside of the net and survey his options. Plays it forward for Gerelnick. Forward for his his wingman there. Gerelnick once again. Aggies very aggressive on the defense today. Seems that they're essentially double teaming people at the moment. It's kind of nice to see, as we've mentioned.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, last night the Aggies really, and this is something that we've seen them kind of struggle to match in years past, is they really answered the physicality for Montana State kind of off the bell last night, and they didn't really let it bother them too much at all. They maintained that same level throughout all 3+ periods, and it ended up paying off. They just weathered the storm. They got the passes through the neutral zone. It was that stretch pass from Jack LaFontaine to Jack Wallace that finished the job. It was Jack to Jack.
I think that we'll have an easy tripping call here as Freegang got taken down at about center ice there.
Yep, Aggies' first power play thanks to number 21. Oh, boy.
Gerelnick, I believe.
Yep. I was going to try and read the first name. I'm not even going to give it a shot. That looks like it could be 4 different letters.
It is. It's Eton.
Eton, okay. That's not what is written here, but all right.
It's tough.
8:40 to go in the period, and I think Utah State's going to set up Zach Pierce from deep here, if they can hold the zone.
Clearance there by the Grizzlies. Samuels will shepherd it away and get it to some safety in the hands of LaFontaine. LaFontaine will take it up ice. Takes it on his own here, dumps it around the backside to Ferry. Ferry leaves it for Pierce. To Ferry. Back to Pierce. He's got LaFontaine. LaFontaine doesn't mind taking that shot, but he takes it to Pfeiffer instead. Looking for Ferry picks it up, has some options. He plays it to Pierce. Back to Ferry. To Pierce, and then to LaFontaine. LaFontaine gets dispossessed for a moment, but they maintain it here in the offensive zone to Pierce. Here's Pfeiffer. Back to LaFontaine. He takes the shot. It's off of the chest there, Belay. And then the shot. Oh, and a great save there. It might have come off the post.
That was post. Ferry had a yawning cage, and he hit the iron square on.
And you could see the hole there. It was there. It was ready.
And he did well. He saw that rebound fall at his feet. He settled it, and he lifted it up far enough. He got clear of the leg pad, but he did not get it inside the post. Oh, man, that's tough.
Belay's going to feel really good making that secondary save as it just goes right into his glove.
You ought to give that post a kiss.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to thank that one. Free gang. Lines up across from Walker. Baum to Bogan. Back to Bogan. Here's Baum again, who takes that shot, and it's just wide. Free gang gets a touch on it. It goes through the crease, but no one's there on the end of it.
Boy, Logan didn't miss that shot by much either. They're getting really close.
Bynum tries to play that one across the crease to Pilgrim to get that final touch, but it takes a good touch off of Belay's stick there. Baum will take the shot. It comes off of a defenseman who looks like he's in a little bit of pain after that, unfortunately.
He's going to head off.
20 seconds left on the power play.
Maybe another trip.
Free gang. Nothing from the refs at the moment.
It happened right in front of him, too.
It was. That was an easy trip as well. Here's Baum for free gang. Looks for his options, plays it across the crease to Bogan. Bogan couldn't get on the end of it.
That thing went airborne a little too late.
Power play ends, and Gerelnick makes his way back onto the ice. Aggies maintaining pressure. That shot was just barely wide.
He's missing him by about a foot on either side.
Bogan tries to keep that one in play with his glove, but he couldn't. Manages to keep it going, and here's Bynum. Surveys his options, dumps it into the corner. And they finish their line change. Dump forward. This should be an easy icing call.
Jack's got a skate though. Oh man, they gave him that one early.
That was a bit long on that.
Yeah. LaFontaine and Ramsey just didn't see how quick they were pressing in from behind, and that was a little bit of a gift for the Ags.
Absolutely. Game 2 of 3 this weekend. Today's the Halloween game. When you look around the stadium, we see a couple people dressed up. It's nice to see. Still not quite as full as I wish it would be. Wallace comes on to the end of this one. Grizzlies will maintain.
Ice is slippery.
We have a zebra down. LaFontaine fighting for it. Gets dispossessed. Here's Niebauer. Plays it forward for Gerelnick, but it's picked off there by Gifford. Wallace tries to come in there and break this one up a little bit. Apologies, that's Reeves. Wallace with the shot. It comes off of the skate there of Gerelnick, who looks like he's in a little bit of pain now too.
Yeah, I think that hit him right underneath the shoulder pads.
A little bit of extracurriculars going on as Reeves might have said something, who knows, but
yeah, things are getting feisty already.
A little bit. Niebauer maybe just trying to protect his goaltender here.
And Belay just threw the puck out of his glove. He's frustrated with something.
The boos are coming in from the stands here from the student section.
Yeah, it looks like a couple different subsets of students are out there in their Halloween costumes. I think I see a portion of Pike over there. Those guys are going to be loud.
Yeah. Here's Jensen to Ferry.
Shout out Brooks.
Shot to Pearson. That's in the back of the net. Wow, what a one-timer.
Yikes.
Ferry saw him. Pierce took that one-timer and just nothing that Belay could do on that one. That was a laser.
They've been trying to set that up for Zach for a couple games now, but that's what he does, and that's why they play him on the blue line sometimes is on the power play, he'll float across on top of the circles and go back and forth and wait for that shot. This time, even strength, they get him open, and you can tell the emotions that Utah State's starting to evoke from Montana, that they're starting to come into play here, and this is why Utah State's been jawing with some teams. This is why Zach gets under their skin, is because they're going to sell out to try and make plays they shouldn't make and open up shots like that.
Oh, yeah. Aggies win the faceoff but lose it here to the Grizzlies as the Grizzlies make their way out of their defensive zone.
That was a sweet finish from Zach Pierce. The only thing that I think I've seen better from Zach Pierce is his drive or his chip in on 7 at Logan Country Club a couple weeks ago. Ask him about that when you get some time.
Grizzlies maintain possession here. They lose it, and they're going to have to reset, but Ferry's going to track this one down, try and get on the end of it. Nice to see Ethan Saldana once again in the lineup. I feel like I haven't seen him.
Oh, boy, here's Zach again.
Another shot there! Wow!
Yep. It's too easy. It's just too easy. That one takes the water bottle off the cage, and 3-0, 4.5 to go in the first period. This is going to be a disrespectful night for the guys in white.
You got to feel it at this point. You want to feel good for each team, but sometimes once it starts, it's just a spiral downhill. And unfortunately, the Grizzlies coming off that 4-0 loss against the Utes. It's like you said, it's looking like it's going to be another one of those nights for them.
Unofficially, Zach Pierce, the scoring leader for this team, already with 2 goals in the first period. Now, I say unofficially because the boys don't have their stats up on the ACHA website.
Yeah,
Need those stats, fellas.
We also still haven't gotten any rankings either, so it would be nice to have that.
The rankings are coming out for the M2. The first batch will be released in the first or second week of November. They posted something about that a little bit ago, but they're waiting later into the season to rank M2 because it's such a bigger division.
Samuels had a bit of a mishap there as he tried to play the puck around the backside of the net, but it got caught on the backside of the net instead. Grizzlies had a chance, but Samuels was able to just dive onto that one. Rabbit lines up across from Saldana.
Oh, we've got Hacks going outside the circle. Yeah, they're upset. Colton Plant trying to break a guy's stick on the faceoff.
Ref will have that one switch out as Plant comes into the center circle here. It's won by the Aggies. Dumped forward. Niebauer will track it back.
And it's good to see for this team coming into this weekend that the energy is still high and they're still playing their style of hockey. They didn't let that shootout loss for Weber get to them. And, I mean, realistically, they should have won that game 8-6 in regulation. But you know what can happen in the Eccles every now and then.
It's very true.
Especially against that team in purple, ironically. It seems to happen against them a whole lot. But
drama seems to follow.
I'll stop my sentence there.
Here's Reeves. Couldn't get on the end of it. Grizzlies will continue to pressure here in their offensive zone, but Wallace gets forced up against the wall there.
Yeah, Walton just took a pretty decent-sized bump.
Reeves dumps it forward, trying to find Saldana, but is just a bit too far ahead. The Grizzlies will track it back. Here's Niebauer. Niebauer will take it through, looks for his options. He plays it center. He's got Toila. Goes through. Dumped forward. Weiland takes the shot, but it comes off of the stick of LaFontaine. They maintain possession. That was a good chance there for the Grizzlies, but they couldn't get on the end of it.
This has been their issue in the first period is they've had a couple passes to high opportunity positions, but then they can't settle the puck. They can't get the shot off.
Something the Aggies should be a bit grateful for, considering there was not really a big tracker on that defense. So played across to Freegang. Great save by Belay. He just kind of sits on it.
What a save from Belay.
Bynum with the initial pass into the crease. Great opportunity for the Aggies to make that 4-0 potentially before the end of the first period.
Oh, hey, they got that window replaced pretty quick.
They did.
Good work.
Very nice. Yeah, we had an errant puck go through the net and take out a window.
The safety net's still lifted up where it went under. That was crazy.
Aggies come away with it.
Ooh, that's
tripped up his Wallace, but Gifford holds on to it.
Yeah, Wagner's going to be allowed that one because he was playing the puck, and that was killed early. Now Pilgrim's going to take a couple shots from Pankratz mostly. The refs just bailed Belay out there. He did not have that covered, and in fact, he came up and two-hand jabbed one of the Aggies. It was Teague Pilgrim. I'm not sure what the refs are thinking there, but the Aggies have rights to that puck. That's a live puck.
Maybe that's exactly why Teague got into it a little bit.
Well, that's why he took the shots, is because the whistle came in, but it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Belay did not have that covered.
Gifford will line up across from Pizet. Tripped up there, unfortunately, but is Gifford. Grizzlies will come away with it. Grizzlies taken into their offensive zone, but immediately get pressed up against the boards by the Aggies. Great defense.
Braden Mooney getting involved.
Tripped up once again are the Aggies.
There we go. Now the arm's in the air. Delayed
Wallace.
penalty.
Get the extra skater on. They'll allow it. Wallace will track it back, trying to get a couple skaters to follow him. Look for that stretch pass forward, and that'll get intercepted by the Grizzlies, and it'll be an easy tripping call.
They call a hook.
That's going to be number 7, Will Pankratz, going to the box for that one to put the Aggies on the power play once again.
Niebauer's got some words for Fraley down there too, but the second power play of the evening for Utah State. 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Leading this one 3-0, though. They should be able to take a lot of momentum into the locker room. Just 6 seconds differential between the game clock and the power play clock.
Ferry lines up across from Gerelnik. Ferry wins it, finds Pierce to LaFontaine.
If Zach gets the first period hat trick, I'm throwing my headset.
Ferry to Sanborn. The shot was just wide. LaFontaine tracks it back to center ice. They'll have to reset that offense. LaFontaine into the offensive zone. Plays it around side the back to Ferry. Ferry leaves it for Pierce. Pierce has options, finds Ferry. Ferry takes it around the back, plays back to Pierce.
Ooh.
Takes the shot just off of a bit of an angle there, but if there's anything I've learned about Zach Pierce is that he's got confidence just brewing inside him.
Well, listen, that's a great play, too, because the two of them used to run that play with Dylan Hale on just about every power play the Aggies had last year.
Samuels
stretch
plays
pass.
it to Ferry. Ferry will take that shot. Oh, and it's just wide. Wide and right on that one.
Man, we almost had the goalie assist.
Ferry plays it to Pierce. Pierce looks for it again. Oh, he goes for the fake. Finds Ferry. Ferry couldn't get the shot off, unfortunately, and that puck will drift all the way to Samuels, who comes out of his crease fast. 1 minute, 53 seconds here on the power play left.
Oh, yikes. Aggies ice it. Zach just couldn't get a stick to it. It looks like it's bouncing a little weird off the wall right now. They're taking a little bit of a wider angle than they're expecting, but it's a good vision from Samuels. He almost had a couple different goalie assists in that sequence, and there's still 47 seconds left on the power play.
6 seconds separate the penalty clock from the game clock. 7:45 here is local time. Fighting for the puck here. Aggies will come away with it. Here's Ferry, plays it over to LaFontaine.
This is a big help for Utah State's offense, too, as they're a lot more successful on the dot tonight. They were losing a lot of face-offs last night.
LaFontaine surveys his options. Here's Bogan. Bogan, Pilgrim's calling for it. Bogan takes the shot. It comes off of the stick of Belay. LaFontaine will track it back. 25 seconds left here in the period. Pilgrim to Freegang. Freegang tries to get the shot off, but he fans on it, unfortunately.
I think he fell on his stick a little bit there.
Here's Bogan. Back to LaFontaine. LaFontaine will take that shot. Oh, and it comes just wide. It might have come in and out of the glove there of Belay. 7 seconds left. LaFontaine has another chance here and takes a deflection wide. Bogan has it. 2 seconds. Shot, and that's off of the leg pads there. And we
man.
Ooh.
They're throwing fists on him. And now Pilgrim's getting into one, and he's throwing fists. So Teague's done for the night, and whoever's it should be Toyala, should be done for the night as well. But Teague's going to be off the ice for the rest of the night. Freegang got a couple gloved punches while he was falling on in the crease. And again, Utah State's playing live pucks.
Once again, also unnecessary.
And DJ's saying he took a shaft of the stick to the ribs. And this one's going to get really chippy in the second period. There's 40 minutes left in this game as LaFontaine has shown the door too. I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of emotion for the rest of this game, but this is not shaping up well for Montana. And listen, I'll just say this: if you don't want your goaltender to get hit, get the puck out of the zone. Play defense. Don't let him get jammed out all the time, because you're letting him take shot after shot after shot, and then you're acting like Utah State's doing something dirty. They're trying to score during a live play.
Especially
get your heads together.
With no time left on the clock as well. You take the opportunities you have. And once again, we had those players. They went down. They got shoved to the ground.
Well, DJ Freegang just took a stick, the butt of a stick to the ribs while he was being fallen on in the crease, because he's trying to make a play. And now Zach Pierce is going to have to stay out on the ice and figure out what the scoring is here. I'm going to go down to the hall and figure out what's going on between periods. We'll let you know when we come back. But Brian, what a man! Montana's fallen apart in 20 minutes.
An explosive first period here. Once again, I didn't expect to see this kind of level of physicality. Usually I have nothing bad to say about this.
No, I thought it was going to be a much better game too, but Montana's just getting embarrassed right now, and they're letting their emotions lose them the game even worse than it should be.
We'll give you the updates. We'll see if Montana gets any suspensions as well, but until then, we'll be back with the second period here after the intermission. This has been Utah State Hockey. we'll cue you in, but we'll wait until they get the. Go ahead and give it to us. Welcome back, fans, to just before the second period is about to take action. We have players coming into the ice at the moment. Stockton, let's talk a little bit about that first period and how it ended. We saw a little bit of extracurriculars happen between both squads. Give me a breakdown. You went down into the hallway and got to speak with Zach Pierce a little bit about that interaction. What did he tell you?
Yeah, no, I just went down there. I talked to Zach. He was talking to Craig, who was kind of getting all the scoring updates and stuff, and I went over to him. I was really quick. I said, hey, who got tossed? And he just goes, nobody. So we're getting offsetting two minors. One's going to be on Teague Pilgrim. The other one's going to be on Toyala for Montana. Both of those guys were throwing fists at the end of the period, and typically that means 2 in a game, but tonight it just means 2. And I worry a little bit, Brian. You and I were just talking about this, but I worry that opens the door for a lot more violence in this one. We saw how chippy it was getting for the last 5 minutes of the first period, and I don't think the emotions have settled down. If anything, they're just riled up after that trip to the locker room. So
you're going to see a lot happen here in this second period for sure. Toyala, he's one of the leaders on this squad. I believe he's the alternate captain for this squad. So you want to have your leadership obviously stepping up for you and doing what you can, but hey, when your leader's in the box for fighting, that's going to cause some stuff. And Pilgrim threw a punch. It was very obvious.
I'm shocked that Teague is still dressed right now, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it was clear as day in front of 2 of the Zebras. And I think what happens there is they say, all right, well, everyone was punching enough that we can't really put anyone in trouble or put anyone in timeout for the night. But, yeah, I don't know. This has a high probability of getting a lot more physically active over the next 40 minutes, but Utah State with that 3-0 lead, everything's working in their favor right now. And if you're going to keep selling out the emotions for Montana, and if you're going to keep, leaning into frustration, Utah State is perfectly fine with that, the way that this one's played out. So I think the Aggies are going to keep doing what they were doing for the last 12 minutes of that period after they had that opening goal. And all the momentum's with Utah State on their home ice right now.
Let's go over those goals real quick. We had the first goal come in from
Free Gang.
Free Gang. And then immediately, very quickly in rapid succession, Pierce came on with a vengeance, scoring a great one-timer and then filling the back of the net once again.
Knocked the water bottle off with the second one, too.
Absolutely.
Roosted.
So the Grizzlies have some making up to do if they want to stay in this game, but it's going to be more than just physical. You got to put the puck in the back of the net if you're the Grizzlies, but Utah State needs to keep their foot on the pedal, I would say. If you can get another goal here, establish dominance early in the second period, essentially put the Grizzlies out of their misery early.
Listen, a 3-goal lead is hard enough to overcome. If this goes to 4 for the road team, it's going to be a really tough and long night for Montana, but they're going to jump off the faceoff. That's a really good play and a bad shot on the back end.
Yeah, shot came from Kramers, and he puts it wide. Kale didn't even have to do much on that, but he shepherded it away just to be safe. Continuing to fight here is Gerelnik. He'll get taken down, no call. LaFontaine will take it up. LaFontaine, another one of those players that was kind of set up. What a great move there. Bynum plays across the crease, trying to find an Aggie. Couldn't get on the end of it, unfortunately. Grizzlies will pick it up. Get forced up against the glass here. Bynum will try and pressure this puck.
So it is 4-on-4 hockey because of the 2 offsetting minor penalties. Again, Teague Pilgrim in the box for Utah State and Toyala in the box for Montana.
Klein will play that one across the crease, trying to find Gerelnik, who couldn't get on the end of it. The trailing runner there was Niebauer. Bynum comes off of his skate, played a bit too far ahead. He'll get to it, though. Wallace was his support, who overshoots it just a hair. Aggies will reset their defense. Grizzlies taking it across center ice. This is Niebauer, and it's covered up easily there by Samuels. Just a minute 20 here into the second period. I wouldn't say it's too physical quite yet, but, I mean, it's early. You never know what will happen.
There's also a lot more space on the ice right now.
Wagner tries to take the shot. Sanborn tries to play it forward. It takes a deflection. Wallace will come away with it, but Pankratz was there to pick his pocket. Grizzlies take it across center ice. Fans on the pass. Jensen tries to capitalize, but is blocked on his way through.
And Pizzet did just enough there to hold him up and not get called.
Jensen takes a spill on the ice, but it honestly comes off as an advantage for him as he's able to come off of that, and he takes a shot.
Yikes.
Jensen goes for the hit. Wallace goes right over the top of him. We're going to have a penalty, it looks like.
Cross check on Montana.
And it looks like it'll be number 5. That'll be Weiland going to the bench.
So 4-on-3 for 3 seconds. Toyala is going to stay on his skates there, and Teague Pilgrim will get out there as well. They're both probably just going to sprint to the bench and try and get their full units out there. For the Aggies, though, if you can win this face-off, really it's only going to take 5 seconds for Teague to get out of the box and get your new guy on the ice. So if you can just hold the puck on the blue line for 5-10 seconds, then you can set up your full power play.
Get a good stretch pass forward. Here's Ferry with the puck. He'll play it forward for LaFontaine. LaFontaine plays it back to Ferry.
Toyala just went straight into the play there. He's going to stay out there with the kill unit.
Sanborn to Ferry. Ferry back to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will play it through to Ferry, who plays across the crease trying to find Sanborn, who tries to take the shot, but he gets jostled there with another stick.
Yeah, I don't think Caleb was able to get his stick up to that puck.
Here's LaFontaine with a shot, and it's off of in and out of the glove of Belay. Coming around the side there, that was Sanborn trying to come up with the rebound.
Yeah, that's another thing that Belay struggled with early in this one. It kind of led to some of those scraps at the end of the first period, is he's given up a lot of rebounds.
Once again, those live pucks, and refs have been very lenient on this, calling the play dead early when they maybe shouldn't have. LaFontaine plays it to Pierce. Pierce, 2 goals on the evening so far. Plays it to Sanborn. Pierce, once again, plays it across there to Pfeiffer. Here's Ferry. Finds Pierce. Pierce to LaFontaine, who takes the shot, and it's wide and left. Picked up once again, though, by Ferry, who gets forced up against the glass. 40 seconds left here on the power play. LaFontaine. Over to Pfeiffer. Back to Pierce. Pierce looks. Tries to play it across. Here's Pfeiffer, and the shot.
Sanborn in the middle.
In the back of the net. What a great shot there.
Yeah, really good play. Just quick passing, crisp passing from Utah State. Pierce had it. He had to move outside and settle the puck a little bit. It came to him bouncing a little bit heavy. Finds Jack, who was calling for it. Jack was going for that one-timer, but he saw Caleb on the back end there, and he gets that pass back in after floating down towards the goal line. Opens up the space in front of the crease for Sanborn, and it's an easy tap home for him.
Easy tap home. Sometimes those cross-crease passes are a bit harder to put in, but it's good to see Sanborn getting on the board. Reeves will immediately steal the puck from the Grizzlies, who won the faceoff, but he's harassed immediately by the Grizzlies, and they'll dump it forward, and this should be an icing.
And again, Plant almost got there for Montana to cancel that icing out. Utah State's D-men, they got to skate that out, because they'll cancel out that icing if they feel like you're not skating fully towards the puck.
You don't want to give your opponents an easy 1v1 against your goaltender who's holding his glove up. Saldana lines up across the Grizzlies. I believe it's Rabbit. Won by the Aggies. Here's Mooney. Confirmation of the goal by Craig Pettit here. Caleb Sanborn once again. Bound will track this one back. Mooney.
Yeah, see, they waved that icing off because it just didn't have enough pace to take the players all the way back behind the goal line.
Here's Mooney trying to get rid of the puck here, but the Grizzlies are fighting for it. Saldana holding on to it. They managed to get by.
Boy, Mooney, that's the last line right there. If that gets past Braden Mooney, that's an easy 2-on-0.
Saldana will track this one back. Keeps it in play for the Aggies, but it comes off of the gut there of one of the Grizzlies. Mooney plays it back. Here's Reeves. He'll play it up and around the boards, but it'll be shepherded away here by Belay. Saldana will be tracking it. Here's Walker. Plays it to Rabbit. Gets intercepted there by Pilgrim. Pilgrim looks for his options back. He gets forced up against the glass by Garelnick. Here's Jensen. Back to Pilgrim. Stretch pass to Jensen. Jensen will take it across the blue line. Shot!
Oh, whiffed.
Whiffed on it, yep. He gets taken down.
That's a board that they don't call there. That's Wallace in a dangerous position, a foot off the boards, and he gets shoved down head first. You can see the bench stand up and call for it.
Grizzlies coming across. Here's Kramers, takes a shot from wide, comes off of the leg pads of Samuels. Kramers once again will take that shot. It goes into the gut there once again. Great defense by the Aggies, keeping it
Oh, they
out
blow
of
it
the
dead
net.
too early again.
Once again, kind of the same thing we saw earlier. Samuels did not have control of that puck.
He had no idea where it was.
No. And once again, we'll be as objective as possible here. The Grizzlies had every right to that puck.
Yeah, no, and that's why Utah State's not throwing punches right now.
You got to wonder what the message was in the locker room from Eric Gearloff, new head coach for the Aggies.
It's so weird having him
It is.
behind the bench now.
I need to talk to him more about the ref perspective on things. Very nice man, though, if you've had a chance to talk to him.
He and Fraley were going back and forth last night after a couple missed calls the Aggies felt in overtime. And I said on the broadcast last night, I was like, man, Eric Gearloff, if anyone in this building knows that the refs are wrong, it's that guy.
Exactly. You got to wonder what those conversations are like. Shot across the crease there. That was Garelnick on the shot, but there was nobody there to play the rebound as Pilgrim will take it across center ice to Wallace to Gifford. Gifford loses it in his skate, and it'll be chipped up and over.
Ooh,
and
Hail
stays
Mary.
in play. Kramers makes it around. Ramsey read that well.
Oh, man,
Played
yep,
down.
there it is. That's going to be against Kramers. A hold and a haul. And another power play for the Utah State Aggies. They're now, 1 for 3 on the power play.
Kramers heading to the box. 2 minutes once again. These are penalties you shouldn't be taking if you're the away team. Once again, the aggression and maybe the frustration coming forward as they find themselves down 4-0, the same scoreline that they lost against the University of Utah last night.
Well, and that one's more of, I think, less frustration and more of he's really trying to fight through the body to get to the puck there. But just, using the hand to try and gain leverage. You can't go up and over the shoulder and try and swim move him because it's, guys on skates, he's going to go down to the ground pretty easily, and that looks bad for you. So
here's Ferry. Plays it off to LaFontaine in the offensive zone. Shot, one-time shot once again by Pierce. Pierce lurking on that back post, trying to take that shot wide, but the goal comes off its moorings just barely.
Yeah, no, if he gets that off the ice, that's in the back of the net. He just could not get it up and over the leg pad, and as Belay comes over, he kicks that post off. Utah State, obviously, they've got a little bit less rigid goal supports in the building just because there's a lot of youth hockey in the building. Obviously, you want the goal to come off a little easier for those smaller, lighter kids. So they get them about as rigid as they can, but we're not looking at NHL sturdiness here.
Definitely not. Here's Ferry to Pierce. Back to Ferry. Ferry plays it across, finds Pfeiffer. That's kept in play there by LaFontaine, who the Grizzlies end up, it's Pizzet dumps that one forward, and Pierce will track it back. Taking it around the backside of the net, has plenty of options and time. Plays it back for Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer turns on the Jets. Gets around the first. Loses it as he tries to pass it off to Ferry, but Pierce was there to hold on to it. Nope, he lost it, and LaFontaine will track it back, and the Aggies will reset their offense.
Some of these bounces off the wall look like they're catching both teams off guard tonight. I'm wondering if the ice is a little bit different than it was last night.
We saw a lot of shoveling going on in the corners during the first, before the game got started initially. One-time shot here by LaFontaine that's
Good
caught
glove.
there by Belay.
Good glove. Good read. He had like 3 bodies in front of him. Way to follow that one. 39 seconds left on the power play. Utah State's going to switch the line to the younger guys now. And this Free Gang, Bine, and Pilgrim line has been lethal for Utah State the last few weekends.
Very true. In fact, they had that one start the game, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously he puts a lot of confidence, Gearloff putting a lot of confidence in those young guys. It's nice to see. Right-hand side of Belay's net.
think it was actually the Giff Wallace line out there with Pilgrim, so they kind of switched his line.
Bogan moses his way around to Free Gang. Back to Bogan. Bogan has Baum. One-time shot here. Aggies maintain possession. 17 seconds left on the penalty. Free Gang to Bogan. Cross the crease there. Couldn't get on the end of it. Bogan to Bynum. Grizzlies back at full strength. That's a shot. Oh, and it comes off the leg pads there. And that one's called dead there. Once again, I think they're going to come check the moorings.
It's still on. Oh, it slid back a little bit, got stuck. Okay. I wonder if then the anchor points are a little shallow and the whole anchor's coming off the ice.
It very well could be. They aren't very deep spikes, as we've mentioned before. So this is a very, unfortunately, a common occurrence here at the George S. Eccles Ice Arena. But yeah, as we've said, they do open skate, they do curling, they do all manner of activities here. Not just hockey. Here's Jensen.
Yeah, obviously this facility was built back in 02 or slightly before 02 as a practice facility for a couple speed skating teams, some curling teams in that Winter Olympics.
Oh, here's a good stretch pass for the Grizzlies. They couldn't get on it, but they're going to call that one offsides, actually.
Yeah, he
just
didn't.
Barely.
His skates go over the blue line before he had control of the puck. Now, you can skate over the blue line ahead of the puck if you have control of it, but because he was still trying to bring that down, ooh, that might be questionable. That was one that he'll get away with there, and I think because they were both going for the puck.
Great save there by Samuels. Samuels is on his back, though.
They're going to call a hand pass now because, who is that? 2-1 tried to punch that to a teammate, or tried to punch it towards the crease, and then it was hit by another teammate. That's Garelink.
So that'll come into the neutral zone.
Sneaky. Yeah, he got caught on the ice, and the puck was right in front of him. He just punched at it. I think he was trying to score. That would have been called back because the officials saw it. But hey, listen, there's no instant replay. There's no 20 camera angles in the building. If you can sneak it in, may as well. You're down 4-0.
Sometimes it works out for you. Toilet wins that one.
We've seen worse.
It's very true. Hamlin plays it around the backside of the net, but it's picked up by the Aggies. Can't quite keep control of it as the Grizzlies come away with it. Grizzlies dump that one forward. It's caught by Samuels. Saw that one the entire way. Want to talk real quick about, sorry, Stockton, if you had a thought, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, I got to give credit to Utah State for just being really calm and collected out of the intermission. They've not been going after Toyala. They've not really been going after anyone. And there's still been some physicality in this one and, you know, some questionable plays.
Bit of a spill here in front of the net. Samuels was able to control it, though.
Yeah, but the Aggies have not allowed their emotions to ruin their gameplay.
That puck will go up and into the net. Staying calm and collected, that is a very, very important thing for this squad. We discussed how we thought maybe it might come out as very violent in this second period, but I would say it's been mild so far. Both players have to do what they can when they're on the ice, but it's good to see that both teams are maybe putting it aside for the moment. Here's a shot. Oh, and it's in the back of the net.
That's a great shot.
Great shot there
with
by
the screen off the faceoff.
That was Wagner, Gray Wagner on that shot.
And there's some life now for Montana. That's a big goal for them a little before the halfway point of this game. But, yeah, it's going to be a steep hill for them to climb. Hopefully some momentum can be generated off this. But they've also done a good job coming out of the locker room of not getting too hot-headed. You know, they were really starting to lose the thread at the end of the first period. And keeping it cool is what's going to help them get back into this game.
Aggies have a little bit, I mean, this is a minor inconvenience at the moment being up 4-1, but you don't want that to spiral into a 4-2 situation.
Well, you can never let any sort of lead turn you complacent in hockey because the game can change so quickly.
Aggies immediately attacking. You got Ferry. Ferry tries to play it forward, but it takes a deflection off of his stick, and here's Wagner again, playing it forward. Pizzet takes the shot. It comes off of the leg pads, and Wagner was trailing that one, and luckily Ramsey was there to shepherd it away. LaFontaine now.
Something I'm starting to notice a little bit here is the Aggies make a great
big
stretch pass.
Leaves it for Pierce. Pierce going for it.
What a save.
Wow.
Unbelievable reach back save from Belay with the glove, and now he's going to kill the play. That's incredible.
Wow. Denies Pierce the hat trick right there with a diving back save.
He had a piece of it at first. It bounced over the leg pad, and it was heading for the goal line. He reaches back with the glove and doesn't even catch it. He just swats it out. Man, what a save.
It's a fantastic save by the Grizzly goaltender here. Free Gang lines up across from Wallace. Apologies, I'm looking at the wrong side. Those Rabbits. Aggies maintain possession here in their offensive zone. Here's Free Gang. Tries to play it backwards towards his offensive bind-in, but loses it. Free Gang maintains possession. Aggies maintain. Once again, LaFontaine fighting for it. Here's Bynum coming away with it, playing it across the crease. LaFontaine. Grizzlies will take possession and dump it into the corner. Samuels has to get rid of it.
Oh, right in the safety netting. That's bad.
It's definitely not good, but I will say having that play blown dead.
That helps.
It definitely does.
Something I'm starting to notice, though, with Kale in this game is he's not using the glove when he needs to be. He's making a couple kick saves, letting pucks bounce out in front of him with a lot of pressure. And he's having a hard time tracking it with the glove, too. We saw him struggle to cover earlier in this period. So I'm not quite sure that he's seeing the puck as good as he usually does right now.
Free Gang lines up across from Toila. Toila lets him win
There
that
it
one.
is.
And Kale just covers that up immediately.
And he still kind of let that fall out of the glove up against the chest. He's starting to get that glove involved, but it almost feels like he needs to be more active, proactive with the glove, use the glove primarily here.
Very interesting is Free Gang didn't really try for that one. Ends up winning this face-off, but he had some words with the ref afterwards after that last face-off.
Yeah, he may have felt that he was getting held up there.
Bynum tries to play it back. Oh, and a big hit there on
Wow.
Kramer's over in the corner.
Tate Jensen with the shoulder. Bynum getting active too.
Jensen, one thing I've noticed with him is he loves getting physical out there. One of our veteran defenders out here. Great to see him continuing.
Yeah, there he is. He's just leaning against the guy, and he's being sneaky with the stick too. He's got it between the hip and the player, so it's a little extra leverage.
Pfeiffer gets hit behind the back, but here's Free Gang now. We have a bit of a 3v2 situation as Bynum takes it across the blue line. Back to...
What a pass.
Oh, what a great pass, but it was picked off there by the defenseman.
Yeah, better stick lift on the back end of that one from Niebauer just to get the shot off
Bynum.
the ice.
Bynum plays that one forward, no offsides. Pfeiffer gets a shot off, and it's in the back of the net. That's the response you need right there, Stockton.
Sam Pfeiffer back at it. Yeah, Utah State's just looking so good tonight. Puck is moving, shots are flowing. They're getting the second pucks, they're getting the rebounds in the O-zone. They're not spending a lot of time on defense, and Pfeiffer adding his name to the score sheet. I mean, it's feeling like another points night in North Logan.
I would say so. Once again, I want to give a little bit of a shout out on Bynum on that one, who did a nice stretch forward to get that pass off across the blue line.
And he
to
did
set
well
that one up.
to time it as well, because you could see he was falling. He held his body long enough for the puck to travel across the blue line, because again, it's about the puck being in front of the body, or at least being controlled, and because it wasn't controlled, he manages to hold off just enough.
Great heads-up hockey there. Aggies immediately putting on the pressure again. This is Pilgrim.
No one touched it. This will be an ice. No, it was going to go on frame anyway.
Here's Wallace. Wallace takes it around back. He's got a couple trailing runners here. Plays it forward for Pilgrim. Pilgrim was just a bit too far ahead. That'll be a... Oh, and we have Belay stick out. I don't know. I saw Belay stick out a stick there. I won't get too into that, but I did see something.
Well, Jack's got nothing to say about it, so I'm going to assume he just tripped there.
It's fair enough.
But yeah, bad icing there from Utah State, just missing on a couple of those medium passes. The stretch passes have been on target tonight, but some of those medium neutral zone passes have just been a little too out front or a little too far behind, taking some awkward bounces. I mean, still, you're up by 4 goals halfway through the second period, less than halfway to go in this game. So
here's Pilgrim fighting for it at center ice. Saldana comes to support. Pilgrim takes a spill.
yeah, he just got tangled up trying to check back up there.
Bit of speed, momentum carries you a little bit as here comes the Grizzlies, but they get dispossessed. And here's Pierce now taking it over into the corner. He looks for his options, sneaks away. He's got Ferry in the center. Ferry goes for the shot,
Man.
but takes a deflection off of the defenseman.
That was a really good pass.
Sanborn.
Logan Baum's getting active physically as well here. Ooh, sketchy play for Belay.
Bit of one right there. We've been talking about that with Samuels, another situation. Sanborn holds on to it. We'll play it back to LaFontaine. LaFontaine tries to play it forward for Ferry, it looks like, but it got deflected, and Mooney will track it back. But he's got Walker right on his tail. Ferry, what a great touch. He's got Pierce. Pierce is going to look. He'll take that shot, and it's right into the glove of Belay.
Good positioning by Niebauer just to force him to go to that side that Belay's waiting on. Glove side seems to be the stronger side for Belay, so Niebauer just forcing him to take that shot left, not allowing him to get around the puck.
7 minutes left here in the second period of action. 3-goal period. Aggies win it. Here's Pierce trying to play it across the crease. Grizzlies will go on the offensive. There's Walker trying to play it forward to Rabbit as Samuel sticks that stick out and just dumps that one away. LaFontaine will track it back around the side of the net. LaFontaine doesn't see the puck.
I think he did. I think his stick was getting held on the back of the net there.
Here's Ferry.
That's something that Montana is doing well defensively is they're getting stick on stick.
Kind of getting yourself wrapped up so you can't do too much.
Ferry just got slashed. His glove is off. That should have been a slash.
LaFontaine dumps it. This is Ramsey. Grizzlies doing really well to put a lot of pressure on. Grizzlies holding up. Oh, and we have someone took a face shot right there. Great shot. Covered up well by Samuels. Ramsey feels as though he had something hit him right in the face. Maybe a hand, maybe a stick. He's saying stick maybe.
Yeah, it was a high stick in a dangerous position. That should be a 2-minute minor, but feels like we're starting to get into let the scoreboard dictate the officiating territory, which I am a huge opponent of.
Absolutely.
Officiating is for player safety first and foremost. It's not about who's winning by more goals.
Free Gang lines up across from Toila. Grizzlies win it initially, but the Aggies will maintain possession here. Free Gang comes away with it. Bogan plays it to Reeves. Reeves. Here's Hamlin now, who takes the shot and it takes a deflection off of Bogan and goes wide.
I didn't know Denny Hamlin played hockey now. It's a joke for all my NASCAR fans out there. I know there's like 12 of us.
I didn't get that one, unfortunately.
I could tell.
Shot, and that's in the glove of Belay.
Looks like Norris getting a shot on there. He's getting a little more ice time for these Aggies lately. Ty Morris, another one of those new additions this year. And already this team's kind of gone through a lot behind the scenes with the departure of their head coach they had behind the bench to start the season, and now having Gearloff back there who, a couple years ago, Zach Pierce and Eric Gearloff were getting in verbal altercations on the ice together. So fun to see them working together and have it work so well. I mean, Gearloff has proven himself to be a really strong hockey mind.
Absolutely, and maybe it's best to have a ref in a way to be one of your coaches. That's going to be nice.
And especially because then it really feels justified if he's yelling at the officials and I can yell at the officials because he knows. It gives me power.
Shot by Free Gang is taking a deflection, and the Grizzlies will come away with it. They'll take it across center ice. Stretch pass, that should be up and out.
Oh, man, that almost took off Simon's head over there.
It sure did, and I don't think she saw it coming either.
Yeah, if you're at the ice, if you're at the arena for a hockey game, any level, but especially for Utah State club hockey here, there's a lot of deflected pucks. They go flying into the bleachers on both sides of the ice.
I have seen people get hit with pucks. It is not pretty. It looks painful as heck.
I got saved by these bars in front of us one time. One flipped up here and through the bars and kind of tapped me on the calf. It would have hurt a lot more if these bars weren't here. So
nothing like galvanized rubber hitting you right in the calf.
Yeah, rubber is misleading when it comes to hockey pucks. It's not soft.
Samuels comes out of his crease, has to get rid of it, dumps it forward. Pilgrim tries to get on the end of it, but Niebauer is able to intercept. Aggies playing a little bit too much defense at the moment.
That's
trying
another
to
one
work their
right.
way out.
It's another one right there where Kale needs to not be out of his crease when you've got 3 Grizzlies cycling back into the zone. That's going to be an ice on Utah State.
It almost seems like the better option is just to let that one play out.
Well,
Allow
your defense
your
is
defensemen to take control.
Exactly. Your defense has been solid tonight. The only goal they've given up has been right off a face-off with 3 bodies in front of Samuels. It's not really anything that you could have done better. It's just a really good, well-aimed shot.
Yeah, make the Grizzlies earn the goal is what I would say. Like, in order for them to get that puck, they got to go around the backside of the net,
Especially
make a play.
because Utah State has created a lot of goals for their opponents with plays like that, not just from, tenders coming out of the crease, but from D-men underhanding, shorthanding passes.
Here's Wallace taking it across center ice. He's going to turn on the Jets. He tries to take the shot, but it comes off of a skate instead.
Oh, boy. Niebauer made a great play and then got blown up for it.
Mooney gets hit by Gerelnik. Shot on, it goes off of the leg pads of Samuels. Great read there by the goaltender.
Saldana also got in there to take out the second opportunity.
Niebauer tries to go for the shot, decides against that. Plays it into the mixer there. Aggies come away with it, but they can't contain that possession.
Great block by Saldana again, getting down low for that one.
Toila takes the shot, and that's right into the path.
Ethan, no. Ethan's going to the box.
Once again, he probably thought that Samuels had control of that puck.
And now
Samuels
Kale's
has been
getting nasty with it. Yeah, this is getting emotional. Saldana still John over there with Klein.
Saldana's going to make his way to the box here as he gets the retaliation call.
No, he started that. He cross-checked the dude in the back and then turned around and cross-checked another dude in the face. So.
Oh, they're going to send both of them to the box.
Oh, that's impressive,
Very
actually.
Intriguing. That's Gerelnik and Saldana in the box for 2 minutes here. Slash
on Gerelnik and cross-check on Saldana. Yeah, and that's I'm surprised that they get the slash on Gerelnik, but that must have been what set Saldana off because he doesn't. I was surprised he doesn't do that on his own.
No, he tends to be, and once again, he might have been trying to just protect his goaltender at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think we just learned that Kale Samuels can protect himself.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I think Kale's desperate for a chance to drop the gloves. I see him coming out like Patrick Watt, center ice, just throwing everything and slapping the stick down.
Crowd goes quiet. Aggies will come away with it, but not before the Grizzlies try and go for it. Here's Bynum, makes a great move here to get it to Ramsey. Ramsey can't quite hold on to it, though, unfortunately. That was a great play.
Bynum's got such quick hands.
Bynum plays it through to Freegang. Freegang tries to get the shot off, but it might have come off of the leg pad there. Bynum once again. Cuts back. He's got LaFontaine. Back to Bynum. Freegang off of the wall. May have taken a deflection off of a stick. LaFontaine will take that one back, and they'll reset the offense.
4-on-4 for another minute 20.
LaFontaine tries to play that one through to Freegang, who can't quite get there, but LaFontaine very quick and maintains possession. LaFontaine plays it to Freegang. Freegang plays it across the crease for Bynum, who can't get on the end of it because of a great touch by Wagner.
60 seconds off the 4-on-4.
Dump forward. Samuels tries to go for the catch, loses it.
Yeah, again, he tried to cover it and lifted his glove up for whatever reason, lost the puck.
Here's Bynum. He's got Freegang and LaFontaine. LaFontaine's trailing. He's wide open.
Yeah, they waited too long to get that over to him.
We got a man on the ground.
Oh, yeah, Bynum's taking some shots while he's on his back.
Freegang goes to assist. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of the Grizzlies go to the box on this one as well.
We are.
Yep.
They're going to call for Reese as well to go to the box.
It's going to be number 5. That's Weiland going to the box.
Yeah, it's just, again, the emotions at the end of the period for Montana are taking them fresh out of the game. They were getting back into it at the beginning of this period. That goal, cut the lead to 3, and that's not insurmountable in the second period, especially. You still got 20 more minutes after this period's over, but they can't stop, and they are going to drag Reese Bynum out of the bench and put him in the box as well, which, I'm not really sure what he did from on his back taking a stick to the abdomen, but
He must have been throwing that stick around.
It must have been, but this is where the officiating is starting to get a little frustrating. Is there's, they're just trying to even things out, and it's not really that kind of a game. It's giving license to everyone else to just keep taking hacks because the punishments have been so light and so uneven here. These are not situations that I think warrant offsetting 2-minute minors. That should have been a clear 4-on-3 advantage for Utah State, but again, the refs just kind of trying to keep up with the pace of this game, and they're getting outpaced by the physicality right now.
Yeah. Refs still conversing with players, giving them the details of what just happened. We will have 4v4 hockey here. 2:27 left here in the second period. 38 seconds on the first penalty, and then followed by another 2-minute penalty from the
they just
offset.
They just took those penalties off
Shot
the
immediately.
board. Good look from Zach off the face-off.
So what do you think? Is it going to be? Well, it wouldn't be just a whistle because they're not back out right now.
No, I don't know. I think I'm not really sure what happened. Only reason I could think of is if they're offsetting majors, and then they would just come out after 5 minutes and dead puck. And now a hand pass is called.
Well, we heard 2 minutes for a cross-check there from in-arena voice Craig Pettit. So,
which again, I'm not sure how you cross-check a guy from on your back in the crease, but
yeah, perhaps they just haven't put it up on the board yet.
It was on there for a second, and they took it off the board, and now I think the scoreboard operator's confused as to why the numbers have gone away. So that will explain it.
Kramer's looking like he's taking a bit of a shot there. He's looking like in a little bit of pain.
Yeah, it looks like the officials are just kind of taking a little bit of time to let him breathe. Now the Aggies are over at the bench, and we're going to have to address the absence of penalty. No, we are going to get a penalty here because of the hand pass in the defensive zone.
Interesting. Well, I guess we're back here to the one-man advantage here for the Aggies as Toila goes to the bench. He's not going to be happy with that, but
crowded room down there.
Yeah.
5 guys in the box, 3 for Montana, 2 for Utah State. So they just, I think, I'm not really sure why, but they just took the first set of 2 minutes off, and now the Aggies will play 4-on-3 for 32 seconds. Oh, no, we can't do this. No, we can't do this. No, listen, fans, if you come to the Eccles, do not come over to the visitors' penalty box and try and harass the players. Don't throw middle fingers at the visitors. Have some class, please.
It just makes it look bad for us as here's the Grizzlies coming up. They'll have a good chance. This is Klein.
He tried to go between the legs and got stuffed. You're just trying to do too much down 4.
Ferry's got a chance on net here. He passes it off to Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer chunked it.
I think Ferry should have been a bit more selfish on that one.
Saldana lost track of the clock and didn't come out of the box in time. Now Utah State's going to have to play 4-on-4 for a couple extra seconds.
LaFontaine to Pfeiffer. Back to LaFontaine. Pierce thought about the one-timer once again. Here's Ferry. Ferry will put it up, and it goes off of the chest of Belay. Belay will cover up.
I think that went off his mask. It sounded like it kind of hit the cage there. Utah State's getting real close to Belay. You got to kind of feel for him. He's been just getting dunked on by Utah State, and he's not getting much help in front.
Face off on the left-hand side of Belay's net. 1:23 left here. About a 21-second difference on the penalty clock. Sanborn will win that one. Gets it to Pierce. Pierce looks, goes to Ferry. Back to Pierce. To Pfeiffer. One-timer here. Great shot. Caught in the air by Belay.
And again, Zach just not getting as much elevation on that shot as he wants. You could see he's trying to get Belay pushing across. He's going back to that left side, trying to get outside the glove side of Belay, and ends up in the pads there. Pretty easy track for Belay. If that gets up in the air, though, that glove has been a little slower for Belay as this game's gone on.
Aggies come away with it once again. Here's Pierce to LaFontaine. LaFontaine tracks it back a little bit.
He wants it.
Surveys, goes to Pierce. To Ferry. Here's Pierce. LaFontaine calling for it. He wants it. Ferry once again to Pierce. 45 seconds left. One-time shot.
Oh, boy. He missed the corner by maybe an inch. That
Pierce
was
is
going top
asking.
right. Belay doesn't fill up that whole net, even when he's to the post. There's about 3-4 inches over his shoulder, and Pierce missed it by less than that. Yeah, they're going to get the other guys out there now, the younger guys. It's really been those two lines for Utah State with an extra line out there on occasion.
Been doing a lot of work.
I mean, why not when they're scoring all the time?
Free Gang will line up across from the Grizzlies.
Free Yang's actually going to step out for Pilgrim, and Pfeiffer's going to join him.
Pfeiffer and Gerelnik. Bogan comes away with it. It's dumped forward. Pfeiffer tried to get on the end of it, but couldn't get there. Bogan will continue to hold on to the possession. Here's Free Gang. Gets his pocket picked a little bit, but he holds on to it. Oh, and he takes the shot, but it might have taken it a bit of a deflection on the way through.
Yeah, and that hit Belay, but he didn't realize it hit him. He lost that one in traffic.
15 seconds left here on the clock. Bogan gets bodied up. Here's Baum. Gets bodied up as well. Grizzlies playing aggressive here. No one on the end of that. That could have been very dangerous, as this clock should dwindle down at this point. And that will do it for us here in the second period. Aggies continuing to hold the lead, a 4-goal lead. 5-1 is the score line.
Now, Weiland and Bynum were both in the box for the entire remainder of that period, so I really do think they may have been offsetting major penalties for that activity, and that would mean that they still have a couple more minutes to serve on the back end of this, and then they would have to wait for a dead puck to both go back to the bench. It just essentially, it's offsetting penalties that don't put us at 4-on-4 or 3-on-3, but yeah, it has to be 5 minutes because they've been in there for longer than 2.
Grizzlies will go to the locker room a little frustrated after that one, but the Aggies once again continuing to hold the dominance at the moment, doing well on defense, keeping Samuels relatively inactive for the most part. But that'll do it for us here in the second period. We'll have a brief intermission, and we'll join you guys for the third period. You're listening to Utah State Hockey. 5-1 if you're just joining us. It's been a pretty electric game, I would say. I would say, the score line definitely is leaning heavily in favor of the Aggies, but the physicality has been probably the biggest story of the night, I would say, in regards to both of these squads. Stockton, we've been going back and forth on things. The first period definitely had a lot of physicality to it. Second period, it kind of died down a little bit, but it was still there. The embers are still there and going. Do you notice anything coming into this third period? What do you think Montana's going to have to do to try and keep themselves in this?
They need to try and stay unemotional. It's been the end of both periods now where they're just taking stupid penalties and doing a little too much after the whistle. And listen, it's frustrating being down 4 goals on the road against a team that you lost by 3 or 4-2 already this season. And it's not been a fun night for Montana. From what I can understand, it's not been a fun weekend for Montana. But that being said, you're only making it less fun for yourself by taking these bad penalties and taking these little cheap shots here and there. Utah State's done exactly what they do to teams that they get this emotional, is they get under their skin and they let the scoreboard do the talking from there on out. And the Aggies have done a really good job of being, pretty stone-faced at the end of that second period compared to the first, so they just need to keep that up.
Absolutely. It's rinse and repeat at the moment for the Aggies as Freegang continues to hold on to it. Pfeiffer thinks about shooting it, but decides to lean back on that instead. Bynon plays it forward for Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer to Freegang. Freegang looks to go for the Michigan, but decides against it. Here's LaFontaine, plays across. Oh, and that was a great shot. Unsure what the call is here at the moment. Goal came off of its moorings as Bynon was making his way across the crease. Belay had that left leg pad ready to save, but if he could have lifted that puck over him, it could have been a different story in that situation. But Belay getting bailed out by the goal.
Yeah, he's just being aggressive with his push-offs, and the anchor's not strong enough for him.
Grizzlies take control here, snag it out of the air. LaFontaine reads that one well, and the Aggies go back on the attack. Here's Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer to Bynon, who gets shoved to the ground, and Belay just picks up the errant puck. Couple early signs of life here from the Aggies as they try and push forward, getting that 6th goal. That would definitely put the game out of reach, I would say, for sure. I've seen the Aggies come back from a big deficit like this before against other teams, so I wouldn't keep them out of it, the Grizzlies out of it, unfortunately. So Aggies win that possession. Here is Ferry. Ferry plays it to Sanborn. Sanborn gets pushed up against the wall by 2 Grizzlies. Ferry goes to assist. Here's Pierce now. Pierce goes to Bogan. Ferry tries to deflect that pass into the net, but he doesn't get a good contact. Grizzlies taking it across center ice. Bogan manages to be a thorn in the side of the Grizzlies at the moment. That should be an easy icing call.
Ooh, man.
Once again, that trailing skater.
Yeah, Tate did a good job there to stay on his wheels. It's something we've been a little critical of for this Utah State defense, is they've been a little lackadaisical getting to those iced pucks, and Tate not falling victim there.
100%. There must have been some kind of discussion there. Hey, you know that they're going to go for that puck no matter what. You got to track him, because if he gets there, it's bad news for you at that point. Pierce lines up across from the Grizzlies. Pierce wiggles his way around. The goal definitely comes off its moorings a little bit, but they don't call it dead at the moment. Here's Sanborn now. Sanborn will retreat. Cuts it back. Manages to hold on to possession. Gets it to Ferry. To Pierce. Pierce plays it across to Sanborn. Sanborn gets it on the backside of the stick. Can't contain it too well, but he gets it to Ferry. Pankratz fighting for it. Ferry trying to get on the end of it. Here's Baum. Baum will take the shot, and it's caught by Belay. Aggies doing well once again, keeping the offense going. 17:59 here, just over 2 minutes, barely over 2 minutes into this third period. 5-1 is the score. 9:11 is the local time. Aggies win that face-off. Here's Pilgrim. Pilgrim takes a shot, and it's into the chest of Belay once again.
That's a good read from Belay. There's a lot of traffic in front of that net for him right now. He's not been helped out, like we've said, too much in front. There's been a lot of bodies moving back and forth. Utah State's been able to move the puck across the crease pretty easily tonight, but he's still staying in there. He's making some good saves. You gotta feel for the kid.
Absolutely. It's tough being a goaltender when you're just getting pumped. Here's Baum now. Intercepts that pass. He dumps it into the corner. Belay comes out of his goal. Plays it to Niebauer. Niebauer will play it forward. Chips it into center ice. That should be picked up easily there. No hand pass. Mooney gets shoved up against the boards there. Klein takes it up. It's immediately hit by Pilgrim. Aggies doing well to be aggressive. That should be another icing.
You see Mooney there looking over the shoulder, just making sure. It sounds like those guys have been notified that they're under pressure from behind.
Rabbit getting a little frustrated, slams the stick on the ground. Face-off will come to the left-hand side of Belay's glove. Binen lines up across. Wins the face-off, but it goes all the way back into the defensive zone. Plant will chase. Here come the Aggies. Ramsey dumping it forward for the stretch pass to Binen. Takes a touch, no icing. Free gang. Dumps it forward. Here's Pfeiffer now. Pfeiffer plays it forward for Binen. Binen gets knocked off of his skate a little bit. Here's LaFontaine.
And TJ had to go back and pick up his glove.
Big hit there up against the boards by TJ there. That was great. Putting on the glove and then immediately hitting another player. Only in hockey. Here's
Again,
Wagner.
DJ's been looking fantastic the last couple weekends.
Absolutely. Great pickup for us. Playing it through. That's a good stretch pass. Biden will have a chance. That's a shot. Great save there.
Ooh, man.
Once
really
again,
good save.
Yeah, he's able to get the leg pad shut around that one. Otherwise, that could have been difficult, but I didn't see much of a trailing run there to pick up any rebound. 16:32 left on the clock here, 5-1. Pierce will line up across from Pizzet. Pierce in the corner. Gets picked up by the Grizzlies. Bogan will track it. Gets harassed by Pankrats. Ferry shepherds it into center ice. Aggies will recycle. Pierce plays it forward for Bogan. Bogan looking to go fast, but he loses track of the puck. Grizzlies come away with it. Building out of the back. Here's Upton. Makes his way around a few. Comes off of the leg pads of Samuels. Samuels goes down, tries to get on the end of it.
Oh, what a block.
Oh, what a great block by Morris. Samuels was on the ground. That could have gone right in the back of the net.
Yeah, Kale's having trouble tracking that puck when it gets real close to him tonight.
Here's Sanborn, plays it forward for Pierce. Pierce cuts back, assesses his options, goes for the shot, and it's into the glove of Belay.
Boy, he wants that third one so bad. And I think Utah State's going to keep trying to set him up for the third. And as they should, that's what you want for your captain, especially with how productive he's been this season.
Absolutely. You want to keep that confidence going. Nothing better than having a hot player remain hot game in and game out. Saldana will line up across from Rabbit. Saldana wins that one. Reeves tries to get a shot off. That's picked up there by Belay as it took a couple deflections on the way through.
And honestly, it almost worked out for Revo because he flips it over a stick and it bounces right in front of Walton.
Rinse and repeat here. Saldana wins that one again. Grizzlies will come away with it, though. Great tracking back by Mooney to snuff that one out before anything could happen.
And just a really smart play by Braden Mooney, too. Just throw it off the wall in front of a bench. Sharp angle so it's not going to go down into the other end.
Grizzlies dump it forward, but it comes off of the skate of a Grizzlies forward, and the Aggies continue to pressure in their offensive zone. Grizzlies coming through. Here's Klein. Klein looking for some options, goes around the side of the net, plays it back. And that's snagged out of the air by Samuels as it took a deflection off of a skate.
Yeah, it was awkward. It ends up on the blade of Mooney. He swats at it to clear it, and then it deflects off someone's skate back over his head. A good idea by Kale just to pop up and snag that out of the air, or else that could have gotten messy.
Face off to the right-hand side of Kale Samuels. Haven't seen too much action here so far in this second period for the Aggies defense. They've been very, very aggressive on the offense. Grizzlies come away with that one. Shot from distance, goes wide and right. And that puck will go all the way into the center ice, and Weiland will come back and take it forward for the Grizzlies. Free gang. And that puck goes into the crowd. I saw a bunch of heads duck. No one got hit. That's very good.
Yeah, it flipped over the seats and into the cage, like right above the tunnel for the Aggies. Again, heads on swivels, folks.
Face-off goes to the opposite side of Kale Samuels. Free gang lines up across. Grizzlies win that one, but nothing forward. Kale Samuels saw that one the entire way as it comes off of his stick. Bit more signs of life here from the Grizzlies as they continue to press forward. LaFontaine comes away with the puck, plays it off to Ramsey. Ramsey plays it forward for LaFontaine. Gets to Free Gang. Free Gang tries to snag it around Gerelnick, but it comes into his path instead. He gets tripped up on the way here, and that should be an easy tripping call. I believe it's going to be Ramsey as the guilty party. Ramsey or LaFontaine, I'm sure. Looks like LaFontaine.
Yeah, and listen, Jack's doing what he has to do there. Throw the stick in the lane, try and get to the puck, and unfortunately looked like his toe almost got stuck for a second, and the stick kind of stops in place, sweeps through the guy's legs, and for Montana, listen, good job. Feel the contact, take the penalty. You need everything you can get right now.
Take advantage of this opportunity potentially to get one back here, make it a 3-goal game, but it's, once again, a very steep hill to be climbing. Aggies go on the penalty kill. Grizzlies come away with it. They'll look to play possession. Bogan immediately puts on the pressure. So does Wallace. Wallace goes down. Shot goes across the net and away. Great clearance there by Wallace. Belay plays it off to Klein. Klein will take it around the back of the net, allows his players to get recycled here, and he'll take it up. Cross center ice is Wagner on that one. Shot! Oh, and that comes off of the leg pads of Samuels. Great read. Clearance once again. Klein will recycle once again. Ooh, almost picked off by Bynum there. That was a good read. Once again, the Aggies pushing up as much as they can. Kale Samuels comes out of his net and dumps that one immediately down the length of the ice. 54 seconds left on the penalty clock, 12:55 to play. Here's Wagner. Great read once again there by Free Gang. We have a puck is blown dead there. I think it was offsides, yep. Puck comes back into the neutral zone, left-hand side. Pfeiffer lines up across from Pizzet. Grizzlies will come away with that one, but it'll go all the way back to Belay. Belay leaves it for Hamlin. Advances forward, has Bynum putting on the pressure. Pankratz gets it taken away by Pierce. Aggies trying to push it forward. 25 seconds left on the penalty clock. Pizzet almost gets picked off by Baum there, but the Grizzlies contain the puck for the moment. 10 seconds left.
It's been a better power play for Montana. They spent a lot more time in the O-zone, but Utah State, again, they play that tight four right in front of the crease. They're expanding a little bit more than they have earlier in the game here just because they have that cushion. They're feeling a little more risky, but even when Montana does get a shot off, we're seeing them miss the cage by a good couple feet.
Aggies back at full strength here, but the Grizzlies continue to apply the pressure. They'll dump it forward and change their lines after a long power play. Sanborn tries to play himself forward. Oh, it comes to Ferry. Ferry takes a shot.
Oh, man, couldn't drag it past.
Here's Weiland. He's got a 2v1 situation. He plays the shot off, goes in and out of the glove of Samuels, and Samuels elects to cover up. They called that one dead, but Samuels went ahead and tried to sweep that one to, I believe, to Ramsey, but they called it dead beforehand. Pierce will line up across from Pizzet. Here's Pierce, dumps it, goes to Weiland. They keep it in their offensive zone. Aggies playing some hard defense at the moment. Jostling in the corner, comes out with the Aggies. Good little play there by LaFontaine. LaFontaine takes the screen from Ferry and dumps it forward. Weiland comes away with the puck. Takes it across center ice, dumps it into the corner. He'll go off to finish off his line change. And the Aggies, here's Ferry now. Ferry's got Pierce and Sanborn as support. They're trying to set up Pierce for that third goal. Sanborn had a chance. Here's Ferry now. Ferry tries to drag it past. They'll have to recycle as LaFontaine gathers it at center ice. Here's Sanborn now on net. Pierce takes the shot and it's off the leg pads. Pierce will track it back, leaves it for Jensen. Jensen loses track for a second, but it gets to Ferry. Grizzlies maintain now. Here's Upton. Ooh, great touch there by Ferry to almost keep it in play for them on the offensive zone, but it's dumped forward. Samuels comes out of his crease. Wallace forced up against the glass again. Here's a shot. Ooh, and it comes off of the blocker, it looked like, and it goes over the net. Shot, once again, great block there by there's Ramsey, I believe.
There's Norris, I think, up in front.
Thank you. Lots of numbers. Here are the Grizzlies trying to reassess their situations.
You can see the Aggies are a little less eager on the forecheck later in this one. We're halfway through the third now, 9:34 to play, and that 4-goal lead has not changed this entire period.
Bit more offense here for the Grizzlies, but they're not getting any purchase here as they kind of throw everything so far, and that goes up into the safety netting behind the net.
Tater's got some extra words over there in the corner for the Grizz. He's been he typically is a target of some physicality just because of his size and his strength on defense. He gets under guys' skin purely because he plays a physical brand of hockey, and a lot of guys can't beat him physically.
Face-off will come off to the right-hand side of Samuels. 9:15 left to play here in the third period. Halloween night here at the Eccles. We've seen some Marios, some Luigis. We saw a baby caterpillar. It's been a good night. Shot, and that goes wide. Actually, that takes a deflection off of Freegang. Freegang will gather the puck here, plays it forward for Baum. Great backhand pass by Pfeiffer. Fighting for the puck. Here's Bynan trying to get on the end of it, and that's a great stretch pass there to find Pankratz. USU had the trailing defense with Mooney there in the back. Freegang dumps it forward, the stretch pass for Bynan. Bynan gets the touch to avoid the icing. Grizzlies try and play it across center ice, but it's picked up by Ramsey. Pfeiffer now. Ramsey to LaFontaine. LaFontaine keeps him onside. Freegang. Freegang gets tripped up, no call. Here's Pfeiffer. much deflections here. No one's really able to maintain possession here as it just kind of bounces around. That puck takes some deflections on the way through, and they're going to call that one dead, even though I don't think they quite should have.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what the call is again there. They're just calling things dead because they get freaked out for whatever reason. That's a live puck. Goes off the side netting, it's still live, and they whistle it dead for whatever reason.
Yeah, I even saw right there, I just saw Belay talk to Fraley, give him the universal "what's up with that" sign. Sanborn wins that to Wallace to.
Oh! Shoo!
What an angled shot there by LaFontaine. Finds the top right corner of the net.
I think that was Caleb. It was Sanborn.
Wow, what a shot.
Assist from Jack, though, and I told you he was getting on that point sheet one way or another.
That extends the Aggies' lead to 6-1, and you got to think that maybe it's just out of reach at this point, but they're still just under 8 minutes.
I love your optimism, Brian, but it's been out of reach.
Aggies win that faceoff. Good to see Caleb Sanborn get on the board. Grizzlies continue to fight. They call it for Jack LaFontaine instead of Sanborn.
That's interesting because they had Caleb lead the charge past the bench. Usually the point man on that pass by is the goal scorer.
Here's Ferry. Ferry gets around his man. He's alone in the offensive zone. He gets picked off there by Niebauer.
Might be an ice here. No, it's going to go on frame. Kale's going to, oh my gosh. These guys have a half-second trigger on the kills, and most of the time the puck's still in play.
Some of those refs are even behind the play, which I find to be very interesting that they can make that call like that.
Yeah, from 50 feet away. That's wild.
Face off to the right-hand side of Cale Samuels. Saldana. It's won there by the Grizzlies. Going for the Michigan there. Can't get the puck out of the air, and it goes over the net there. Great defense by the Aggies once again. Big hits in open ice. Shot goes wide. They'll call that one dead once again. Unsure what the call is. Oh, there's a delayed penalty. Possibly some kind of roughing. We'll see what the actual call is here from the ref.
It's going to be Bogue. Cross-check.
Cross-check, yep. There was a lot of action going on in front of the net there, so I didn't see it initially, but we'll trust the refs on that one.
You'll trust the refs on that one. I will keep my tongue in my mouth.
Aggies go on the penalty kill. They've been very successful on the night so far. Let's see if they can continue with that. Here's Hamlin. Hamlin looks to pull the trigger, but passes to Wagner. Wagner plays it off. For the other Wagner, I should say. That's snagged out of the air, that shot by Hamlin. Ends up in the glove of Cale Samuels.
6:29 to go, minute 46 on the power play for the Grizz. Be certainly a morale booster if they could convert on this power play, but like I was saying a minute ago, Brian, this thing's been over for a while. Just not nearly enough offense for Montana to dream of a 5-goal comeback with 6.5 left.
After a while, you just have to play the rest of the game out, and unfortunately, you don't want to be down like this, but it just happens. Shot! Oh, great save off the blocker there by Cale Samuels. Seems like he didn't have the best view of it, but he got that blocker up just in time. Mooney clears that one away. Great clear, and it looks like Freegang's going to have a chance on this one. Great dive there by the Grizzlies to keep it away from Freegang, who's been a very dangerous player in most games. Shot comes off the leg pads, and that's covered up, almost covered up by Cale Samuels. Once again, there we go, another live puck situation that they call dead.
I mean, it's just ridiculous what's going on tonight, and both teams are jawing at the officials.
It's got to be frustrating on either side.
Puck was all the way out here on the near sidewall.
Mm-hmm. Samuels definitely, dove for it, trying to get control, but it was obvious. We have a way worse angle of that than the refs do, and they're blowing it dead.
And if you're Montana, you're hoping those plays extend because a garbage goal is pretty much all you can hope for right now.
That puck goes all the way into the defensive zone of the Grizzlies, and Klein will recover.
I think the fellas in stripes may need to go back to class.
Yeah, they need some glasses, it seems, today. You know, we have a lot. I've counted maybe 4 different blind refs in the crowd.
Everyone loved my idea from last year. I called the Halloween game last year in a blind ref costume.
That's right.
Fraley didn't love it. He kept giving me a side eye. But hey, man,
I'm
justified tonight.
I would tend to agree. And once again, we're not even saying that that's a. We are definitely a biased broadcast in the sense that we are Aggies supporters and students.
We're student volunteers. Lower your expectations.
We want to make it very clear that it's been both sides have been having those calls where it's an obvious live puck situation. I don't know why they're doing that.
Well, listen, I mean, even though we are student volunteers, that's a situation that hurts Montana. And that's why, we're talking about it right now, is they're on the power play. They need those garbage goals. They need the time to put those home. If Kale's going to come out of the crease and not be able to cover, they're not being given that time right now.
Exactly. And I mean, objectively, any team, they want to take advantage of those moments. You have a goalie that's confident coming out like that, you want to punish that. And if it just gets blown dead the moment, because, he makes contact. He touches the puck. But both goalies have been spilling the puck off and on throughout the course of the night.
4:42 left in this one. Montana does not convert on the power play. Really just looking for some sort of morale here. Something to smile about in the locker room, though I imagine no one's really going to be smiling.
Yeah. Grizzlies continue to fight forward. That's Wagner. He gets shoved to the ground by Freegang, and they're going to call that one.
Yeah, Aggies are getting sloppy now. Again, talking about it a little earlier, you cannot let these leads turn you complacent. And we're seeing complacency from Utah State right now.
Another cross-check call on Freegang. So one penalty ends and another one begins. Face-off coming to the right-hand side, just under 4.5 to play here. 9:34 here is the local time. Grizzlies come away with it. Going around the side of the back of the net. They'll have to recycle here as it goes too far. Klein now. Finds Kramers. Tries to play it across the crease, but it's read well there by the Aggies. And that's dumped forward.
And honestly, for Utah State, being on the kill right now is not the worst thing in the world. You're, 4 for 4 on the kill tonight, and you can just throw that puck down the ice and kill off clock here where, you have to possess. If this is even strength, you don't even really have to do that. You just get in the way of the shooting lanes and throw the puck down the ice.
Absolutely. There's a shot. Comes off of the leg pads of Samuels. Great defense there by the Aggies. Grizzlies continue to recycle that offensive puck, trying to get something going. We have some jostling going up here. Almost looks like a high stick situation in front of the net, but no one saw that. Shot. Tried to go into the glove there of Samuels, but he couldn't hold on to it. Grizzlies continue to be aggressive here. 3:15 left to play. Good stick poke there by Pfeiffer. Here's Klein to Pankratz. Oh.
Shattered stick there for Morris.
Yeah, Morris went to dump that puck away, and it just breaks instead.
Hey, at least it wasn't on a shot. If you have an open cage and your stick snaps like that, nightmares.
We see sticks break every night. Do you know how much a stick costs, Stockton?
I unfortunately do, and it's not cheap.
They got to have a budget for that, I imagine. Samuels comes out of his net for that one. I think he should have once again let that one just go around. Oh, good touch there. And Sanborn has got a chance on net here. He'll take the shot. Comes off of the chest. He looks for the rebound. Can't get on the end of it.
Another great kill for Utah State, and it continues to baffle me how they look better on the kill.
Sanborn has another chance. Comes off the leg pads.
I feel like they've almost had more shots on the kill than they have on the power play tonight.
Absolutely. Here's Ferry. Ferry will wait for his team to recycle. Plays it back. to Ramsey. Ramsey turns it around. He's got Ferry. Ferry's calling for it. Ooh, that's a good turn, but he gets tripped up in the end. He just kind of loses his skates there. Just incidental contact, normal stuff. Saldana tries to dork himself around. Plays it forward. It comes off of Walker's skate. Walker fans on that. It's a big hit there.
Saldana's getting called for that one. 100%. I don't know why, because he was hitting the puck carrier. Now Pierce is getting some extra action behind the play. Yeah, Saldana hit the guy with the puck.
He did. Maybe it was a bit high.
It must have been a cross-check. That's the only thing I can think of here.
3 cross-checks in a row if it ends up being that call. Pierce
is still getting the business over there, and he's happy to laugh and jaw along. I mean, the scoreboard's going to do all the talking for the Aggie captain.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes to play, so the Aggies will be down a man for the remainder of this matchup.
Again, fine with that. They've looked really good on the kill tonight. Pierce is getting all the words out on the way back to the bench. Still haven't gotten a signal on what that penalty call is, but I mean, if what I saw is what they're going to assess, which who knows. You never know with these guys, but it looked like a cross-check was getting a little bit elevated there from Ethan. Yeah, it is going to be a cross-check as the signal comes in from Fraley.
Puck will go back into the offensive zone for the Grizzlies for the next little bit. Aggie's been really good on the penalty kill, as stated. They'll continue. Grizzlies will try and throw everything they can, everything and the kitchen sink, it seems. Right-hand side of Cale Samuels. Grizzlies come away with it. Here's Klein. Plays it into the mixer. Gets mixed up there, but it comes out to the Aggies. They dump that one forward. Belay leaves it. Grizzlies continue to fight forward. Here's Klein once again. Trying to set something up. He dumps it around the boards. Oh, and he gets forced up against the wall hard.
That's a cheap penalty. They're about to get Ramsey for something here. Excuse me, that's Braden. And you get Mooney, and Mooney's just going to start throwing his hands around.
We have a stick in the air.
Yeah, that's going to be a slash on Montana. These are going to be offsetting. Logan Baum's trying to calm down Braden Mooney, who's got a lot to say to Fraley. Rightfully so. It's a clean hit.
Mooney's going to the box.
And it looks like we've got 2-1 going to the box as well for Montana for the slash that knocked the stick out of Baum's hand.
Yeah, there'll be Garelnick on that one. Looks like he called an interference on that one. Could be wrong.
All right, take your pick. This is getting into a mess at the end of the game, and this is the result of lackluster officiating at the end of the first and through the second period.
We were talking about that all game, where they've just let certain things, skate by, pun intended there, and it starts to show its ugly head here at the end of the game, where we just have penalty after penalty.
And we've seen it with the early trigger whistles, and we've seen it with a couple of these offsetting minor decisions. These guys look like they are scared of the players on the ice tonight.
Absolutely. Under a minute to play here to finish up. See if the Aggies can maintain this 5-goal lead, or do the Grizzlies have one left in them? Shot. Samuels is out of his net. That was a shot by Pizzet. Grizzlies continue to pester forward. Good block there on the leg pads. Wagner comes away with it. Dumps it forward. Samuel saw it the entire way. Gets onto his side. Ooh, tries to go for the sneaky goal there, but once again, read very well by Samuels. 10 seconds left on the clock. Dumped forward. This might just do it.
That should do it. Maybe one more rush.
Maybe one more, and you can just try and get something. Pankratz dumps that one forward. It's tipped by Morris. Aggies come away with the victory once again.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Down on the other end, Jordan Belay looks very frustrated. Just threw his water bottle towards center ice. And
I mean, I understand. I definitely understand it because, I mean, who knows? I mean, you definitely want to win every game. the refs definitely didn't help them. They didn't help anyone, I would say. They just kind of seemed to be a hindrance.
They were just there. They were just watching.
Yeah, two teams and then a team of refs that just kind of asserted their dominance and will whenever they wanted to.
Well, I wouldn't say they were dominant at all. Again, I think they looked nervous out there compared to the players. I think they were worried they were going to get hit at one point. And listen, you got to do what you got to do. You got to stand in there and make the calls and stand by the calls. And we'll go through the handshake line. Belay getting some nods there from the Aggies, and Freegang going over there having some extra kind words for him as well.
Once again, this is the game 2 of 3 this weekend. USU taking on Providence tomorrow.
That's going to be fun.
Those games against Providence, those ones always end pretty electric, so it would be nice to see.
And I last time the Aggies were out there, they had that Montana swing of the road trip, and they dropped the game against Providence, the only game they lost that weekend. I was golfing with Pierce a couple days after that, and he said they were just mad about the Providence game. He said they played so much better than that score looked, and they just made a couple bad plays, and Providence just shot after shot after shot. So I'm excited to see how the Aggies are able to respond to them tomorrow.
This will do it for us here.
Oh, no, hold up. We've got some words being exchanged on the ice as LaFontaine's pointing at the scoreboard and chirping at some of the Grizz.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yep. Aiden Milburn trying to shepherd him away. Once again, you can see the tempers were flaring throughout the course of this game, so it's unfortunate to see. But
I don't love it. It's kind of listen, this is Utah State's trying to answer the bell of the physicality and the chippiness that they get from other teams. They're trying to step up to that level, and they're doing it pretty well, as we'll get the prayer circle at center ice after the game. But, I think that this one just kind of got emotionally out of hand. It didn't get helped by some hands-off officiating. And I do want to say, though, I love this new energy for Utah State hockey, the physicality. They're ready to answer the bell. They're ready to return the hits. They're ready to weather those storms. And they'll chat your ear off. They're happy to do so, but they're not going to take the cheap shots after the whistle. They'll absorb those, and they'll use that as fire. We saw it from Montana tonight. They made a couple real bad plays just because they got a little over-emotional at the end of the first and second period. And then it was just kind of a cluster mess at the end of that third period. So hopefully a cleaner game tomorrow. Hopefully a stronger officiated game tomorrow against two teams that are certainly going to go at each other even harder than these two went at each other tonight.
Fantastic result. Once again, if you're an Aggies fan, 5-goal win, 6-1 is the end score for you. This will do it for us. For Stockton Jukes, I'm Brian Kirk. You've been listening to Utah State Hockey. Have a great night.